Welcome to a battlefield of minds. Two grandmasters face off where every move cuts like a sword. One mistake, and it's over. This isn't just chess. It's war, disguised as strategy. Let's dive in, move by move, into this epic clash. Fressinet begins with nf3, a flexible knight move, like a scout stepping into the mist, testing the terrain before the storm begins. Wesley So mirrors calmly with nf6, saying, "I'm here too, ready for battle," establishing symmetry and tension from the start. Fressinet pushes c4, expanding on the queen side, preparing to seize space and provoke imbalance early. Wesley strikes back with g6, choosing the hyper-modern setup. He'll let white take space, only to undermine it later like a sniper. Fressinet develops nc3, stacking pressure on the center, ready to challenge d5 with a knight's sharp edge. Wesley So counters with d5, a bold central blow. He won't wait to be attacked, he takes the fight head-on. Fressinet exchanges with cxd5, opening the center, the first clash of steel between these two masters. Wesley responds with nxd5, a quick recapture. His knight stands firm in the heart of the board, fearless. Fressinet fires qb3, targeting the exposed b7 pawn, like a sniper scope locking onto a weakness. Wesley coolly retreats his knight to nb6, shielding the pawn and keeping structure solid. Fressinet advances d4, reinforcing the center, building a fortress of pawns to control the battlefield. Wesley develops bg7, fianchettoing his bishop, turning that long diagonal into a laser beam of pressure. Fressinet plays f4, claiming total command of the center, a bold declaration of war. Wesley answers with bg4, pinning the knight and injecting subtle poison into white's setup. Fressinet develops b3, calmly breaking the pin while tightening his central grip. Wesley exchanges bxf3, removing the defender. He's ready to mess with white's pawn structure. Fressinet recaptures gxf3, doubling pawns but opening brutal attacking lines for his rook and queen. Wesley slices in with bx4, grabbing a central pawn and drawing first real blood. Fressinet castles long. A bold, aggressive choice, throwing his king into the storm for faster mobilization. Wesley replies with a5, striking the center again, showing no fear in this open battlefield. Fressinet pushes h4. The pawn storm begins. His kingside troops are on the march. Wesley calmly plays bx3, cutting the momentum and forcing exchanges to cool the fire. Fressinet recaptures fc3, opening the f-file, a double-edged gift that could bite both ways. Wesley slides his queen to qf6, ready to pounce on weak squares and maybe eye that rook on a1. Fressinet continues a5, relentless, storming forward like thunder. His pawns roar toward Wesley's king. Wesley defends with g5, slamming the gate shut, daring white to overextend. Fressinet thrusts forward, cracking open the wall. He wants chaos, fire, and open lines for the kill. Wesley meets it with x4, calmly accepting the challenge, prying open files for counterplay. Fressinet strikes nd5. The knight leaps like a predator, threatening forks and fury. Wesley eliminates with nxd5, refusing to flinch, he'll simplify through strength. Fressinet captures back, rxd5, his rook now dominating the center like a war machine. Wesley activates rj8, shifting to defense and offense at once, a tactical pivot toward the king's side. Fressinet advances h6, a sharp wedge. He wants to pry open dark squares and suffocate the fianchettoed king. Wesley plays bc4, developing with menace, hitting e2, and setting up tactical landmines. Fressinet's rook retreats to r-Don, steadying the position and preparing reinforcements. Wesley castles o0, finally tucking his king away but connecting his rooks for counterpunches. Fressinet's rook moves to r-F1, doubling up firepower on the f-file, his cannons now align. Wesley advances b5, breaking the queenside to stir up counterplay. His own storm begins. Fressinet captures qxbb5, boldly snatching the pawn, daring Wesley to prove compensation. Wesley responds e5, lashing out in the center, reigniting activity, and cutting open lines for his bishops. Fressinet counters e5 himself. Wait, he pushes? No, here he plays e5. The board trembles. The center is chaos. Wesley sacrifices with rxb5, detonating the queenside. He's going all in for initiative. Fressinet answers xf6, his pawn now a thorn at the heart of Wesley's defenses. Wesley strikes back with rc5, counterattacking with precision. His rook becomes a blade of vengeance. Fressinet defends with b3, trying to shield his position and kick that rook off its post. Wesley develops nf5. The knight jumps like lightning, heading straight for deadly squares. Fressinet calmly exchanges x4, maintaining material balance but losing momentum. Oh. Wesley shifts f7, quietly sidestepping danger, ready for a defensive dance. Fressinet centralizes kb2. His king joins the war, walking bravely into the open. Wesley captures nxcc4c, a sudden strike. He tears into white's queenside, shredding defenses. Fressinet answers bxcc4, cleaning up the mess, but leaving weaknesses everywhere. Wesley returns with rf5. His rook lunges forward. Pressure, precision, and pure venom. Fressinet mobilizes cat-c3. His king keeps marching, trying to coordinate defenses. Wesley snatches xf6, grabbing another pawn and tightening his stranglehold. Fressinet pushes 5, desperate for counterplay, hoping to create chaos on the king's side. Wesley replies re8, cold-blooded, refocusing for the endgame with deadly calm. Fressinet brings r-Don, doubling rooks again, refusing to go quietly. Wesley mirrors, with r5, ready to invade both wings, a predator circling its prey. Fressinet strikes rd5, keeping up the pressure, trying to find light in the darkness. Wesley counters re3, checking the king and tightening the net. Fressinet sidesteps kd4, marching forward fearlessly, his king now an active fighter. Wesley plays art3, lurking behind enemy lines, ready to grab pawns like a thief in the night. Fressinet steadies with rd7, trying to hold the crumbling walls together. Wesley snatches rs5. The rook feasts. White's pawn structure collapses. Fressinet grabs rx7. Counter blow. He bites back with venom, taking material to stay alive. Wesley pushes g4, advancing pawns with fury. His attack is unstoppable now. Fressinet centralizes k4, desperate to activate his monarch and defend what's left. Wesley counters rg5, doubling down on aggression. His rook and pawn combo is deadly. Fressinet shoves c5, racing his passed pawn as a final hope. Wesley drives g3, steamrolling forward. His pawns are monsters now. Fressinet answers rgt2, trying to stop promotion but running out of options. Wesley's h-pawn surges, h5, another storm front, unstoppable and brutal. Fressinet captures rx7, snatching a pawn but too late, the tide is black. Wesley advances h4. The pawn avalanche keeps roaring toward glory. Fressinet continues ra3, trying to prepare counterchecks on the back rank. Wesley plays h3, his pawn just 2 steps from immortality. Fressinet counters raxk3, desperate to trade off the advancing pawns. Wesley recaptures rxg, keeping total control. His rook now dominates the open file. Fressinet answers rxg3, cleaning up, but his pieces are stretched thin. Wesley returns with h2, a dagger move. The pawn is 1 square from queening. Fressinet can only watch as his defenses crumble, the board frozen with tension. Wesley's h2 pawn stands victorious, a single step from promotion. The end is near. Fressinet has no saving move left. His king is helpless. Wesley So wins 0-1, sealing victory with quiet precision. An endgame masterclass after a brutal, beautiful war. The video ends here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Please, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to support me. Thank you again, everyone. See you in the next video.